The woods have eyes. I bet there's a lot of people that love to go camping. Well, this is my story I'm about to tell you, and this changed my opinion on camping forever. It started out on a hot summer with some friends on a camping trip in the woods of Florida. Yes, you can camp in Florida also, folks. Anywho, we got to our destination to camp, and as we were still on the road to the site, we came across an entrance that was blocked off saying, "Stay away, no trespassing." I pointed out that entrance to my friends, and what a mistake that was, because they got the most curious I've ever seen them. I told them not to go there, and they'd go anyway. So we arrived at our destination, and as soon as we got off the truck, they insisted to investigate the enclosed area. They wanted me to tag along. I insisted not to, but they convinced me it'd be fun and exciting, so I thought, to my luck, they wanted to go after dusk. Yay. Here we are walking on the dirt road from the site that was closed, and we hiked in. All I've noticed once entering the area were the trees. They seemed dry and white, like someone just sucked the life out of it. We kept walking and saw an abandoned campsite. We thought there'd be some goods we could take back to our camp, but there was nothing to take. Suddenly, we heard a deep voice saying, "Get out now." We looked around scared and couldn't see anything in the dark. We obviously had a flashlight with us, but it was no good if we couldn't see the idiot trying to scare us. So we tried to backtrack back to our campsite and realized we were walking in circles, lost. I was so mad getting lost with these idiots, but yeah, I did. Then another voice came out of nowhere saying, "We warned you." Wanting a chance to get out, I said, "We're lost here. Hello? Instead of giving us a warning, can't you be useful and guide us out, you fool?" After I shouted that out, silence crept throughout the rest of the night. Disappointed, we kept on walking. It seemed like hours of walking, and we were getting nowhere. There was 5 of us in the group, and I noticed that one of my friends had went missing. We looked all over the place, and there was no sign of him. We shouted his name, and no answer. We couldn't explain how he disappeared from us, but he did. One of the guys spoke up and said that he'd heard him, that people go missing from this area all the time, and they're never seen again. Then I yelled at him, telling him, "Don't you think you should have told us that shit before trespassing?" He responded with, "I'm sorry, I thought it was some fake story to keep people out." When I was done arguing with him, I noticed again that someone else went missing. Now we were down to 3 from 5 people, and I'm thinking to myself, this reminds me of some horror movie where we're being haunted. Out of nowhere, another voice came, "You can't escape from us." Chills came down my spine when I heard that, and we kept on walking down the dirt road that we presumably thought was the path. But when we kept following it, there was a dead end with those trees in the way. The ugly, white, dried up trees. I looked carefully at a tree and told the guys I saw something move. And when looked closely, it opened its eyes. I jumped and screamed when I saw it, asking the other guys if they'd seen the same thing, and they replied yes. We ran from the deserted campsite that was the only thing we can get to, and figured out what the problem was. It had to be those damn trees. It seemed like they were alive for some reason. I didn't care how or why. I just wanted to get out of that area as soon as possible. On top of it all, it was getting colder that night. Luckily, I had some matches to start a fire. As soon as I lit the match, a loud scream came from all around saying, "Turn it off, turn it off, turn it off." So we came to the conclusion that these things, or the trees, didn't like fire at all. I grabbed a lot of sticks from the bonfire where the old camping site was, and I lit them up. We heard loud screams from the deep parts of the woods. It's like a stadium full of demons screaming in agony. As we walked towards the dead end, the path was open. We started to run out until exiting the area completely. I know for a fact that no one other than those who'd witnessed the event would ever believe us, but I'm glad to be alive and escaped with 2 of my friends. I don't know what happened to the other 2, but it's possible they could have been in on it. Maybe they were the ones saying the voices, but from what we experienced, all of those things seemed like they were coming from the deep woods. Whatever the case may be, when it says don't trespass, don't trespass. Story 2. Camping. A little background story. I'm Tessa. I'm 14 years old. I live in Minnesota and I go to this one campground up north in the kind of middle of nowhere. I've gone to that campground for 11 years and I still go there to this day. It's been open for only a year or 2 before I started going there. My mom is really popular there. We know everyone. They're always having some sort of party or staying up till 1 o'clock as drunk as they can be. This particular night haunts me forever. Me and my friend Chloe were best friends. She was the shy brunette and I was the wild blonde. She always had this thing where she never liked sleeping over. This one night, me and her planned on having a sleepover in a tent outside our actual camper. Our parents didn't stay out late that night for some reason. We had a fire and we did regular camping things. It was about 1 o'clock when we decided to go in the shower house with showers and bathrooms. It was one of the best campgrounds in North America. It's a fact, not my actual opinion. So we were in the shower house planning to just hang out because the shower house and the lodge were the only place that had Wi-Fi. My data didn't work because it was in the middle of nowhere. So we planned on staying there till 3 a.m. We were out at about 2 a.m. and we needed some chargers. We went to our camper and grabbed our chargers, and on our way back, we're outside the door for some air before we went inside again. Chloe was on her phone, and around the corner behind her was an old guy, or maybe a woman, looking to be as old as possible. It's like a walking rat. It looked like one. I screamed and told her what I saw, and the guy had a crazy smile on him. We ran as fast as our long legs could let us. About 2 steps before we got inside, I started crying because of how scared I was, and she started freaking out because she doesn't know what was behind her back. We hesitated to call either of our parents because we felt like they would get really mad at us and not even believe us. We were out till 3 a.m. and we weren't supposed to be up past 1. Now we were freaking out. We were ready to bust down the door because we'd been in there for about an hour before we saw the creepy old man. We hesitated to open the door, but we ended up opening it. I was thinking that he was going to be right behind it, and we were going to die as soon as we ran out. As I turned around to open up the door, I saw the creepy old man with something that looked like a knife in his hand, right around the corner where he almost got us. To this day, we almost always remember this night. We ended up telling our parents, and they believed us, being mad at us for not calling them. We didn't know what his intentions were, and what he was really doing in the middle of nowhere. All we do know is that we should have listened to our parents and not stayed up as late as we did, because if we did, we wouldn't have ran into this situation. That old man was dangerous, and whatever he planned on doing wasn't good. As much as I love camping, and as much as I love this campground, I don't think I'll ever come back here again.